A website can look fine and still be costing your business, not because it's broken, but because it is no longer building trust, creating clarity, or helping the right people choose you. I see it all the time, like my website included. We assume that if the website's live, functional, and reasonably polished, then it's doing its job. But that is a very low bar. And the truth is, AI has made that bar even lower. It is now easier than ever to build a website that looks okay, which means the gap between bad and acceptable has narrowed fast. That might sound like a good thing, but it also means more businesses at the lower end now look good enough on the surface. And that is raising the pressure in the middle of the market. So if your website is only okay, that is no longer much of an advantage. Because what actually sets business apart is not whether the website exists or whether it looks decent. It is whether it builds trust, whether it creates clarity, whether it reflects the real position in the market, and whether it helps the right people choose you. Your website is not just there to exist, it is shaping perception every single day. It is influencing whether people understand what you do, whether they trust you, whether they see you as a credible choice, or whether they take the next step or keep looking. Buyers are doing more of their research before they even speak to anyone. So your website now has to do more of the heavy lifting earlier. If your website feels a bit off, even if you can't really explain why, it's worth paying attention to that. Usually, the issue is not just that it looks dated, it is that your business has grown, evolved, or matured, and your website hasn't kept up. Maybe your offer is clearer now. Maybe the kind of clients you want has changed. Maybe your business has moved up a level, but your website is still telling an older version of the story. Or maybe the site looks okay on the surface, but it's not converting and it's not building confidence. It is not doing enough to support the sales process. And that's usually the real issue. A website redesign should not just be about making things look better, but it should in theory, but it should be more about making your business easier to understand, easier to trust, and easier to choose. That means clearer messaging, better structure, stronger calls to action, and a more intentional user journey. A website that actually reflects the quality of the business behind it. Because if your website is vague, outdated, or disconnected from where your business is now, it can quietly be holding you back, attracting the wrong leads, creating confusion, undermining trust, and make growth harder than it needs to be. So if you've been looking at your website lately and thinking, this does not really feel like us anymore, that is usually the first sign. Not that you need a cosmetic update, but that you may need to step back, ask a better question. Is this website actually supporting the business we are trying to build? Because a good website should do more than just sit there. It should help your business move forward.